Hi guys and welcome back. So which are the tokens when it comes about real world assets can do 50x? That's what we will discover into this video. And stay tuned also because by the end of this week, I think around Friday, I will publish another video still about real world assets. This is the last video of this series that is about the tokens that can do 100x. If you're not yet subscribed, subscribe, push also the ring bell in order to be notified the moment when I will publish that video. So guys, let's start immediately. Let me say that this channel is about educational content and nothing has to be intended as financial advice. If you want to invest in anything that's super cool, super fine, that's also a good idea because I believe that this market will grow, but do always your own research, listen opinions from different people and build your own portfolio based on your personal risk appetite. Okay, guys, don't forget also to leave a big thumbs up and drop a comment. Let me know which is your token when it comes about real world assets that can do 50x. Maybe I missed something. Okay, guys, let's start with the first token that I really like it. Smart Layer Network. We are talking about a platform, an all-in-one solution that is enabling project to tokenize any kind of asset. The idea behind this project is that any asset can have more liquidity if it is brought on chain. And that's a powerful idea that I really like it. We are still talking about a project that has a market cap, so supply that is circulating right now, pretty small. We're about 50 million market cap, but an FTV that is a little bit higher is about 300 million. The project is backed by VC and has been launched pretty recently. As you can see also from the chart, it was listed by the end of February, and right now it is in a downtrend. I do expect that soon, what I mean with soon, as we have seen in the last couple of weeks, real world assets were trending. But as you can see from the chart of Smart Layer, the token didn't push at all. So what we can expect is that or a reaction right now if the trend for real world assets will continue, or on the other side, we know that Bitcoin can't simply pump like forever. At a certain point, a major correction will come, and all the smaller tokens, including Smart Layer, will go through a major correction too. In that moment, that is the time where there could be a buying opportunity if you think that Smart Layer could be a good fit for your portfolio. So be aware of that. I think that right now is much more about trading. So if you see any kind of breakout, that could be a good moment to open a position from a trading perspective. Or on the other side, when we'll go through a correction, maybe starting to accumulate again these kind of tokens. Going to the second project that I want to present to you today. It's called LTO Network. It is a layer one, so it's a blockchain similar to what we have seen with Polymesh, the token that we were talking in one of my previous videos. If you missed that one, I will leave also the link into the right corner here. In that case, we were talking about projects that were pretty much bigger. We were talking about something that was about 1 billion or almost, so something much bigger than just 100 million. This means two main things. From one side, we're talking about something that has much higher potential because obviously we still have like a 10x before reaching that kind of market cap. On the other side, it's showing us also how the market is becoming much more competitive. If until a couple of months ago, 1 year ago, there wasn't so much competition when it was about real world assets. Right now, everything is about real world assets. New projects are jumping into the space. As you can notice from the chart, we are having a project that in this case, it's something that has a much longer history. It started in 2019. It had a big peak that is like a steel, 5 times higher from the price where we are right now. And this is also giving us like a target because the first thing that we want to see from this project is reaching the previous all-time high as soon as possible. What I said for Smart Layer still applies. So I mean, we are still in a phase that to me is much more about trading instead of investing for the long term, because I still believe that we will have a correction that could, as always, guys, it could. I'm not saying that this price is high and maybe we will have a cheaper price into the next coming months. I'm not saying that because I don't know that. Maybe LTO Network will simply do a 5x, reaching $1. And obviously, at that time, even going through a correction of 70%, we would have a price that is still 0.3, much higher than the price that we are seeing right now. So I don't have an answer to tell you this is the right time to buy, or you will find a cheaper price into the future. What I know is that right now the volatility and there is a lot of uncertainty into the market. So it's perfectly right to open a position on something, including LTO, but be aware that there could be a big pump, but also a big dump any moment soon. Either way, I do believe that these kind of tokens could be a good performer into the next coming months, but still, as I said, guys, remember two things. First, the one about trading and investing. The second one is about new projects will coming out. I do expect that by September, we could have other new projects that are jumping into this industry, launching their token, making the space more competitive, and maybe beating projects like this. At the moment, I do believe that this is a good peak, but who knows into the future. So just pay attention to that. Now, I want to talk about the third position that is one of my favorite projects overall speaking, something that I was following since the launch that was about 2021. It suffered so much during the previous bear market, and right now it just did something like 120x just in the last 12 months. So pretty insane. The token just broke its previous all-time high. As you can see from the screen, it's called SWAR Market. The ticker of the token is SMT. It broke out from its previous all-time high. It made a new one. Right now, it is correcting, is just or retesting the previous high, even if we are much lower than previous high. And right now, we are in a situation when we are waiting. Will Bitcoin continue an uptrend for another couple of weeks? If so, it's probable that also SMT and SOAR markets will pump again, and at that time, the movement could be even pretty impulsive because, as always, when you wipe out an all-time high, an important all-time high as it was this one, well, we are going to the price discovery. So it wouldn't be surprising at that time to see like a 2x or even a 3x in a pretty impulsive move. I'm not saying that it will happen. I'm just suggesting you what could be the different scenarios that we can go through into the coming weeks. Again, everything that I said for the other tokens still apply also for this one. When it comes to the possible upside, we are seeing a market cap that is about 60 million, FDV about 200 million. One thing that should be noticed about the FDV is that they are burning each week a certain amount of tokens because new tokens are put into circulation through a liquidity mining program. But if certain kind of thresholds are not reached, they are burning most of the tokens that were allocated for this week. So taking in account also this part, 50x, is it possible for this project? Well, yes, it could be possible. It would be like 8 billion FDV, not something that is insane. When we talk about SWAR markets, it's the first project that has enabled the possibility to trade real stocks on chain, because what they are doing is tokenizing real stocks, real bonds, and giving you the possibility to buy them. On the other side, they have a fully regulated DEX where you can trade different tokens, plus a decentralized OTC desk. So you can buy and sell over the counter. That's suitable for people who are having a lot of money, they want to move, and so on. They have a lot of partnerships and they are fully regulated in Germany by BaFin, and who knows? It's still early because, as you can see also from the total value locked, they have just 4 million locked into their platform. That is not so much. In order to see an upside into the price, we need to see also more traction and not just speculation. A good point about them, and that's something that has that all the projects that I'm showing you today they have in common, is that most of them are still listed on a really limited amount of centralized exchanges. So it means that right now the liquidity available and also the possibilities in order to buy these tokens are pretty limited. It is possible in the moment when these tokens will be listed in major exchanges, and I wouldn't be surprised to see these tokens listed on major exchanges for the simple reason that we are talking about something that is about institutions, something that is about it is reliable, gives authority to the crypto space. So I do think that these tokens, sooner or later, if they generate tractions, they could be listed on major exchanges, pushing the price even higher. Going to the fourth call of today, it's called ClearPool. And to be fair, the three projects that I will present to you right now are pretty much close one to the other one. They are focusing on different parts of the real world asset space. For example, when it comes to ClearPool, what they are doing is creating a secondary market for credits and loans and so on. So you can buy and sell them. That's something that has a role, a big role into the TradFi ecosystem. Seeing it brought on chain, well, that's something that is pretty powerful. Also, in this case, we are talking about a project that is slightly bigger than what we have seen with Swarm markets, but differently from Swarm markets and the other projects. This token is still pretty far away from its previous all-time high. Just to give you an idea, we have still 10x upside. So it means that we are down 90% from the all-time high. Right now, we are an FDV that is about 280 million. We have a market cap that is about 127 million. It means also that doing a 50x, well, it is doable because the project has already proven that can reach an FDV that is about 2 to 3 billion. Doing 5x from that point, it would be like 15, 10 billion. I do believe that is a little bit too much for what is my point of view. But as always, we know that crypto markets could be really irrational. I wouldn't be surprised to see that kind of upside, but I'm not even suggesting it will happen for sure. What we need to see is a fast recovery from this point to the previous all-time high. The first thing that has to happen is breaking this resistance over here that is slightly higher than where we are. In the moment when we break this one, well, there is pretty much space to reach a much higher level, even doing 2 to 3x. That's something that can happen soon, but the project has to break that resistance, and obviously Bitcoin and the whole real world assets space have to keep going on. But keep an eye on the project because it is absolutely interesting. Going to a pretty new name into the space, this one it is IXSwap that was launched by the beginning of 2022, and it is again around the all-time high. That's also another reason why I like this project, because usually when a project is reaching that kind of threshold, it has a lot of upside if it is able to break that resistance. We're talking about the project has an FDV and the market cap that is pretty close, so there is not much selling pressure in the moment when new tokens will be unlocked or will go to the market. So that's a pretty good news. Unfortunately, I haven't been able to find the exact amount that they have been raising because it was undisclosed, but they are for sure backed by several VCs according to the different sources that I found online. The project is about, it's like a DEX. You can imagine it like a Uniswap for the real world assets. They are about to launch also Launchpad. So the idea is to create a full DEX, exactly the kind that we are having into the normal crypto space, but fully dedicated to the real world assets. Just to give you an idea, doing 50x from these numbers would put IXSwap to a market cap that is close to what we are seeing right now with other DEXs. So it wouldn't be surprised to see that kind of upside. Obviously, in order to do that kind of pump, we need two things. One, we need adoption of real world assets and these kind of platforms. Because obviously, without adoption, without real volumes, without real TVL into the platform, it is tough to grow. Yes, you can do like even 10x from this point, but after that, the market cap is becoming pretty big. So in order to move that amount, that price, you need a lot of volume. And how to bring at least so much volume if you are not having a good traction. So be aware of that. Going to the last project of the day, that is a project I really love it. I love it from one side because it is based also in Singapore, where I'm coming from, and from the other side because it is backed by a great team. The team is coming from the TradFi. They have a really strong background. Um, they are like an OpenSea for real-world assets. So as you can see, we have seen from ClearPool, IXSwap, Polytrade, Swarm, and so on. The idea is to recreate what we have seen so far into the DeFi space, but just fully focused on real-world assets. If you think about why, if you're wondering why we need that and we can't simply reuse what we already have into the DeFi, well, the main reason is that when you deal with real-world assets, you need something that is fully regulated, fully compliant, and has different kind of licenses, a different kind of partnerships with institutions, and so on. That's something that the actual DEXs and DeFi platforms are not having. So that's the reason why these platforms are something different, that are trying, all of them are trying to recreate what we have already seen into the DEX and DeFi space. The market cap of this project is about 85 million, so a little bit smaller than what we have seen from the other projects, but at the same time has a fully diluted valuation that is a little bit higher because we are already talking about 260 million. As you can see from the chart, it was breaking the all-time high just a couple of days ago, and exactly as I told you previously for other projects, that's what could happen in a moment when you break a previous high. As you can see, we touched that, we didn't break it, but almost. We had a correction, and then we restarted doing another 2x. Again, exactly as I said for the other projects, we could have an upside if Bitcoin and the whole real-world asset space will keep running. How high can go this project? Well, 50x, it is still possible. It would be like an FDV about 10 billion, or a market cap that would be like 4 billion, something like that. It's not for granted. It's everything about which kind of traction they will be able to generate. I do believe that 50x, maybe it's a little bit high, or maybe it could be reached like with a peak, with a big spike, but with a correction after that. But who knows? It's really about how much hype we are able to generate on this market and which will be the traction. Maybe I'm underestimating the ability of these projects to grow. I do think that in the long run, yes, I'm much underestimating their ability and their capability to grow. The kind of market cap that these projects can reach, it could be much higher than numbers that we have been just talking. But obviously, we need, again, the traction. Guys, let me know which is your favorite project, and if you have other names that do you think that they can do 50x, and I will tell you which are my names for the 100x into the next video. Thank you for following me, guys, and I will see you soon with another video. Bye, guys.